Kyuss World Radio is back. I'm your host, PJ Boston. This is number 33, April 29th, 2018. And we just ripped Revolt Against Tired Noises, the new unreleased, not all the way finished track by our good friends Yawning Man. I am joined now by an old school punk and a desert legend. Serious business. We've got our good friend Gary Arce from Yawning Man. Gary, welcome to Kyuss World Radio, sir.
Hey, how's it going, dude?
Hey, going excellent, Gary. Nice to speak to you. I'm glad you're joining us this evening. How's everything where you're at?
It's good. It's kind of hot, but it's cool. Yeah, I mean, kind of hot, kind of cool. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just relaxing, just mellowing out.
Nice. Now, where are you exactly located right now? Are you in the desert or are you down in L.A.?
I'm in the high desert, kind of like Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree area.
Nice. Is that where you stay? Is that where you stay at all the time?
Yeah, I live here now. Yeah.
Nice. Now, how long have you lived in the desert? Like, did you grow up down there?
Yeah, I was born in Palm Springs and moved to San Diego. I lived in Maui for a while, came back to California, and just came back home and kind of haven't left ever since.
Nice. Now, so you love the desert, huh? Anything else going to drag you out of there, or are you going to stay there?
I wouldn't say that I love the desert, but yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, one day I plan on moving back to Maui or the a big island. So,
does that heat just get to you? Does it beat you down sometimes?
Yeah, what it is with the high desert is I kind of liked it at first because it's kind of mellow, but just seems like more and more people are moving up here, and it's just a big bummer. So
yeah,
being alone a lot, and I like being a loner. So yeah, it's not.
That's what I've heard. It's getting a lot more populated down there. Oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, because I think LA is getting really super like high rent.
Yeah.
So people are moving up here because it's kind of still the old way of like paying rent, I guess. Or
yeah, well, we were like literally just talking about it. We're all going to end up down there, so get ready for more of us to show up because it's so expensive.
Right.
None of the artists can afford to live in a lot of the big cities in California. So
yeah, that's true.
So now tell me about Yawning Man. Now you guys are obviously going to be at the Stone and Dusted Festival next month over the Memorial Day weekend. Now you did that last year too, right? You guys played there.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that day. Was that awesome? You guys play both days or just one day? How does it work?
Just one day. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was fun. I mean, we just rolled out there in the evening, and we jammed for like an hour and a half, and we drank beer, and that was pretty much it. I mean, it was just like being like in the desert at night. I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun.
I've never been to the desert. This is going to be my first trip down there. I've been living in the Bay Area for a long time, but I've never been down there. So I'm going to be at the Joshua Tree Lake National, I guess, campground, and they're going to stick me in a bus and take me to some undisclosed location. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm all excited. How about some of these bands? Now, you guys have 2 days of music, so all these bands are going to play. Some of them are going to play Saturday, and some of them are going to play Sunday, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think Yawning Man's playing. I think I'm not sure what they were playing actually. I don't even know. I don't get. I just don't know.
You're not going to worry about
Mario is kind of like he kind of knows more than me about this stuff.
So now, other than that, what other shows you guys have planned right now? Or are you guys just working on that new record?
Yeah, we're doing that, and we're planning a release of the old demo tapes from the late '80s, early '90s. So we're putting out a double album too. So
now you guys
Mario's been kind of doing most of the footwork. So yeah, he's been running around the last week, just kind of doing everything. So
yeah, what a busy guy.
Bad. But yeah, so we're going to be having the double album and this brand new album. And
now the new album is Revolt Against Tired Noises. That's the name of the album too?
Yeah, that's the name of the album.
Now this album's a little different. You guys are going to have vocals on a couple of different tracks. Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah. It's 8 songs, and 2 of them are going to have vocals.
How do you feel about that?
I dig it. I mean, it's different for Yawning Man, and this whole album process has been different. We went in with the mindset of having fun, and that's what we did. The first day we went in, and we had some loose ideas, and we jammed them out, and it just seemed like the later that the day got, the more the jams got more like intense, and the ideas kind of formed more solid. And by the end of the day, we were really happy. And so from that point on, we took this music home and we toyed around with melodies, and I went back and I did like overdubs on a guitar. So half the songs were kind of formed like that way, like our new songs were kind of formed in that fashion, which is not very usual, because most people like rehearse, and everything's like 4/8, 4/8 change, and this record, we've never followed anybody's, like we've never followed rules and like the rock thing, we've never been that way. So we just kind of did our own thing as usual.
Now, where are you guys recording that record at?
The first day that we tracked drums, bass, and guitar, the original tracks were here up in Joshua Tree at a place called Los Gatos.
Oh.
And it's a recording place. It's ran by a guy named Dan Joe Wright. And then Matthias took the tracks and he took them up to Crestline, California, up here near Big Bear. And so me and Mario have been going up there every week, and we've been doing mixes and overdubs and just having fun with it.
How do you guys decide which songs get the words? Like how did the ones come about that have the vocals on them?
Actually, one of the songs, I just kind of wrote the music for it, like on the spot. I just came up with like a couple parts, and we recorded it, and then I did some sort of like a melody on guitar, and at that point Mario goes, I think I hear vocals on this song. And we were like, cool, because, we've never been opposed to vocals. It's just, we've never just got around to it. It just never happened. So, we just let Mario just go with it, and he did, and they sound great.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I'm all excited.
And the other song with vocals is an old song that we did when we were kids. So you can guess what song that is.
Yeah, no, we might even play that later. Exactly. But I want to dig into that, though, what you do in the studio. I think when you were heading in, you had maybe some social media where you showed some of your effects and your pedals and stuff. But I saw you guys about a year ago at Bottom of the Hill, and I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I never seen anything like it. Like, you blew my mind. It was like some stoner rock mixed with like David Gilmour thing. It was like Desert Gilmour. Like, it was nuts. I've never seen anybody quite use the effects like that, play the guitar like that. Like, where did that style come from?
I really don't know. Honestly, I started playing guitar. I was basically at Mario's house, at his mom and dad's house. He was always in punk bands and playing guitar, and he always had extra like guitars laying around. So when he was practicing with a Dead Issue, I would be in the living room on the couch just messing around, and I started playing with my thumb and my fingers, and it just kind of formed this unique way of playing. And when somebody tried to teach me how to play right, I just didn't feel natural. I just was like, it just doesn't feel right, like reading a book or playing that style. So I just continued playing with my thumb and my fingers. And
so do you ever pick up a pick, or do you always thumb and fingers like that?
Always thumb and fingers.
Crazy.
I tried to pick once just to try it, and it just felt so like unnatural. I just couldn't do it.
You blew my mind when I saw you guys. I was like, wow, I've never seen a band that sounds like this. It blew my mind. Now, what you're playing? You've got like a Strat or a Strat copy. What kind of guitar you usually play when you play live?
I have an Ayers. It's a custom guitar from Ayers Guitars, and I've got a couple. I've got a SG from Gibson, an 80s SG. I've got an Ayers guitar, and and it just depends on my mood. It just depends on my mood. Actually, I don't have a choice or a preference.
What are you playing through?
Yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
What are you playing through? Like, what kind of amp are you using?
For the album, I was playing through Mario's Orange Marshall head. It's a, I don't know what it is. I'm not like an amp guy as much as people would think I am. If it's loud and sounds good out of the box, I'm cool with it. I'm not like one of those guys that needs to play a Vox or a tube Marshall and all that stuff. I'm just not that guy. If it's there and it's easy and it's loud, I'm okay with it.
Wow. Well, you guys killed it the time I saw you back on St. Patrick's Day of last year.
Cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. And you guys had you had Dino with you at that on that leg of that tour. What's the difference like for you guys when you go from being a 3-piece to a 4-piece? What does that do to affect you at all?
Well, Dino followed Mario's bass lines a lot as a doubling on guitar. And it sounded good, I was on the opposite end from him, so I couldn't really, live, it's so loud, I couldn't really tell what was going on, so I just kind of still do what I do. When it's a trio, it just feels like it's more open, I guess.
A little more space.
I don't know how to really say it. It's more open, and it's like a wheel, and I've always thought Yawning Man sound, if there were, for me, it's just like a wheel that rolls, and Bill's doing something, Mario's doing something, and I'm doing this other thing, and we're never doing like the same. It's a weird way to play, but Mario's playing these. He has the bass almost unlike a guitar.
Yeah,
he doesn't play the bass like a regular bass player.
No, it was amazing when I saw him. I was amazed at how heavy it was and how hard he was playing. Like he was.
Oh, dude, Mario's probably one of the best bass players I've ever fucking.
He's
seen.
a beast.
I've seen everybody from Mike Watt to all these guys and beyond. And dude, Mario to me is so much better, and he's just got an ear that is incredible. And as a bass player, I couldn't have a better guy in the band, to jam with than Mario.
He blew my mind. Yeah,
and Bill on drums is incredible too.
Yeah, he's super heavy, and he's like, the how heavy you guys were, I wasn't ready for. Like from everything I play on the radio show, and when we do this stuff, when we play Yawning Man, I love the recordings, but it doesn't translate like live, man. You guys blew us right out the backside of the bottom of the hill. So that was awesome. So what do you guys have coming up? Like, do you have a timetable for when this record's going to come out? Yeah,
I think the record's supposed to come out mid-July, and in between that time, I think we're playing this Brant's Festival, and then we're playing another festival up here in Joshua Tree. I think it's June 24th up at it's another festival, and I don't remember the name of it.
But it's down in the desert somewhere down there?
Yeah, it's called Yucca Man Fest, and
nice.
I know we just got asked about 2 weeks ago to play it, and we said yes. So that's going to be starting to probably be on out soon too. So people will start knowing about that festival.
Well, that's stunning. I'm stoked. I can't wait to check you guys out. I've never been down there, so I'm stoked about the desert now. Growing up in Palm Springs,
man. It's going to be hot, dude. It's going to be hot, so get ready.
Growing up, they told me, and they said last year it was earlier in the year, it was like in April, and they said, man, it was not bad in April. It was a little chilly, and but add a month later to it, and then we'll be frying. I saw that it was like 100 degrees last week down there, so that's
yeah. This coming week it's supposed to be like 105, 106.
Wow. Now, you grew up in Palm Springs, you told me, but you're a big punk guy. And you and I, before we talked earlier today, we were talking about all the punk bands, and I was telling you I was from Boston. We were talking about the bands back there. How'd you get all into punk like that, Gary?
I got into hardcore because basically I have an older brother who was into like a new wave, I guess, whatever you call it. And that was about 78, 79. And I was just a kid, and I remember him coming home with like the sex, he had like 999 Buzz Cox records, like just like the basic English punk, and along with that he listened to like other stuff too. So it kind of came about like that, and he was into Devo too, and that was my first real thing into punk. And then I met Mario and a couple other guys, and from that led to like more hardcore stuff, like Wasted Youth and all these like LA punk bands like the Germs. And from there it was just, I just never looked back. Like I was brought up on hardcore, like out of the gate, basically.
Wow.
And
now,
I was never like a metal guy, and I'm really a vocal about it. I do not like metal at all. So.
Well, you guys are definitely not metal. It's heavy music and and thoughtful, like Pink Floyd-y kind of psychedelic music, but I wouldn't call it metal, that's for sure. Now, when the punk bands were big, well, they're still big, but back in the day when you'd see punk bands, did you have to go to L.A., or did a lot of them come right through Palm Springs?
Black Flag came to Palm Springs in like 82, 83, but for the most part, we would have to drive into L.A., and we would all pile inside of Mario's car or another friend's car, and we'd go see hardcore bands, you know. And honestly, for me, the real punk scene died in like 84, 85. It was done with, you know. And anything after that time period, I don't even consider punk. And it sounds kind of fucked, but that's just the way I think.
You know, I was talking to Cliff Dinsmore one time at a show not too long ago at Slim's, and him and I were chatting about the punk scene back in the day. He told me, he said, man, we used to drive to L.A. to see punk bands all the way from Santa Cruz. And he said the same thing. Mid 80s is when things kind of went sideways on him. Very interesting.
Totally, yeah. And I remember seeing his band, Blast. I remember seeing Blast. And
yeah, that's some old school
me
stuff.
and Mike Niter are friends. So, you know, I remember meeting those guys in the 80s. And, yeah, it was like, you know, and that was a fun period. And I was lucky to be around as a kid watching those bands like Bad Brains and Discharge when they were actually punk bands, like, you know, and it was a good time, and it was fun and a lot of memories.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those were the days, right? Blast and those bands.
And I remember
man,
the Boston
that's crazy.
scene too. You know, like where you come from.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah, Gangrene and Kill Slug.
Jerry's Kids.
Jerry's Kids, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I had a show maybe a year ago, and on my posting, I used the artwork from that. This is not L.A. You know, this is Boston. This is not L.A. The compilation.
Yeah, I remember that compilation.
Yeah, that's old school shit, man. That was. They don't do it like that anymore. And you were right in.
That's when the bands. I mean, that's when it was punk. I mean, that was
punk.
That was a great album, and I still hear that album, and I think it's at my mom's house. So you have like an original one.
You said you have a relationship with Greg Ginn, right?
Yeah. I've known Greg a long time, and I knew Greg when the Soda Quartet got signed to SST Records, and me and Greg just kind of formed this friendship. And one day out of the blue, he called me, and he wanted me to go to SST and go jam with him, and I did. And from that point on, me and Greg we started jamming every weekend. And Bill, our drummer now, Greg was jamming with Bill at the time, and we started jamming, and it got crazy, and we were having fun and drinking beer and staying up till 2 a.m, just jamming all night. And we went to Europe, and we played Europe. We kind of did it under like the radar, because Greg didn't want people to really know that he was on tour, kind of thing. So he didn't really want his name out there, because, you know, people would
he's
Greg Ginn. You know,
yeah, he's big. Famous. So you said he doesn't have musically, he doesn't have anything going on now. He's just running SST down in where'd you say he was at, down in Dallas?
I think that Greg lives in Dallas. Last I talked to him, yeah.
Wow.
Talked to Greg a few months back, yeah. And I don't, you know, he just basically said that he's just kind of like hiding out right now. He's not doing anything musically.
That's awesome.
But me and him were supposed to record a while back, but I just couldn't make it out there. So he was going to call me when he comes into California, and we're supposed to set up a recording session. But me and Greg did a recording too with 8 songs a while back, and I don't know whatever happened with that.
So those haven't been released, and you don't know what the plan is with those?
No. I think when this I think Greg just kind of put everything on hold for right now. But there is a record out with me and Greg somewhere.
That's awesome.
The archives.
I'd love to hear that. Now, before I let you go, tell me, do you have any plans recording anything else that isn't Yawning Man? Do you have any other projects going on right now?
Actually, right now, no, I don't. I'm talking with a friend who lives in Ireland, and me and her are talking about doing something. So
wow.
I don't know how that's going to form because she's all the way in Ireland. So I gotta.
So it's all
message her and
it's all
make it
Yawning.
happen.
It's all Yawning Man right now. We got to get that all dialed in. Well, I can't wait for the new record to come out. Now, when did you say the release was on that? I wrote it down and I lost my piece of paper.
I think it's supposed to come out mid-July before we hit the road because our first date is in the Netherlands, July 25th.
I saw that tour coming up, so that's all through Europe, man. That's a lot of dates. And
it's almost a couple months.
Wow,
almost 2 months.
Who are you guys playing with?
I don't know. There's nobody touring with us that I know of at the moment. But that always kind of the last minute things always seem to get moved around. But as far as I know right now, it's just us.
Wow. Well, Gary, check it out. I'm going to let you roll. I told you I'd keep you on for 15 minutes, and I made it 20, because I always do that. But I'm going to see you in a month down at the Stone and Dusted Festival. Thank you so much for hooking us up with this music. We're going to play some more Yawning Man and some other stuff, and we're going to get the show dialed in. But from everybody at Kyuss World and Nathan and everybody, and I got Chuck and iMac here. What's up, guys? Sorry about all that talking I did to.
It was very entertaining.
It was awesome. Gary Arce, ladies and gentlemen.
That
Gary,
was awesome.
Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Is there anything else you want to cover before I let you go?
No, bro. That's about it, dude.
Dude, you're the man. You did an incredible job, Gary. Thank you very much.
Okay, dude. Cool.
Peace out, man. Gary Arce on Kyuss World Radio.